Hey guys, it's Krishanti with Krishanti.com. And as you probably already know, I learned how to do readings and energy healings. And now I work with people on a one-on-one basis doing that. But I wasn't like born super psychic. I really worked at it and I trained to become psychic. And I believe that if I can do it, you can too. So today I want to talk about clairvoyance specifically and clairvoyant pictures and how clairvoyant pictures come about in the early stages of psychic development. So if you're clairvoyant, you're working on increasing your clairvoyance, I hope that this video helps. First things first, when you're doing a reading or you're accessing information clairvoyantly, it helps to know that in that realm, it's not going to be like a mirror image of the world that we live in. It's not going to be necessarily straight up literal, like this is exactly the way it is. In fact, you'll do a lot better if you accept and you embrace the fact that clairvoyant pictures are more often than not metaphorical. And here are some examples. For a while after I did my training process, I did a lot of free readings for people over the phone because they were strangers and I wasn't about to have some people I didn't know coming up into my house. And I remember one of the people I worked with, I was doing the reading, I was looking at the information, and then I saw an image of him sitting in a tree with a notebook and a pencil, scribbling really, really hard, like, and I think I did communicate that to him, but the feeling and what I got when I saw that picture was like, this kid is freaking pissed, like angry to the point where he has like anger issues and is unstable. So I was glad that was a phone session. And, but that's one way that it would come about. So was that guy sitting in a tree, drawing in a notebook? Probably not. But that image metaphorically represented like, very interesting. Other images I've had, because I grew up reading fairy tales and I love mythology and legend and fairy stories and all of it. When I really let my imagination go, I'll just get all kinds of beautiful fairy tale imagery, which is interesting because that's kind of like it taps into like the collective unconscious and like a lot of what Carl Jung was talking about with reality and with the pictures that inform our reality. So a lot of these things are a part of the whole like soup of consciousness. So they're grounded in some alternate form of reality. And let's see what other kind of pictures, if like, let's say you're tuning into someone, and I talked about this in another video, like someone says, can you tell me more about Jackie? And you're like, okay. And so you let the image of Jackie come to you, you'll direct it into your viewing receptacle, clairvoyantly look at it, and you'll see a color that symbolically represents her energy right now. And then maybe that turns into a bunny rabbit that's like hopping around and like sniffing and stuff. And like, maybe it's nervous or it's timid. And so then well, obviously this person, Jackie, is not really a bunny rabbit, but the image of the rabbit might speak to or inform a part of her personality that is timid, like the rabbit that you see. I think you get where I'm going with this, but the more out there, the better at first, and the more the information will just kind of start to flow. A lot of people, what really messes a lot of people up is that they try to make sense of it. And so if you're doing a reading, you're practicing, you're doing a reading on someone and you're trying to understand why you're seeing a picture of a wolf howling at the moon, and you're like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Then you're thinking. And when you start to think, that really shuts everything down. And I know it goes against what we've been trained to do in school, which we've been trained to think like, be sensible, think straight, it has to make sense. And so it's like you're going against everything you were taught, and you do and will border on the ridiculous. I'll just say it. Like, some of this SHIT is going to be flat out freaking ridiculous. What I say is, the more ridiculous, the better, because you're on to something. I had a student who was so kind and really, really wanted to help people. And he had the habit of falling into giving advice. So he would do the reading, and then he would just go off on this track of giving advice. And it was not the way to go. It was like he would kind of see some pictures and then like disregard, and then just start talking to someone and just telling what their problem was and helping. But it wasn't really addressing what their problem was. And the advice he was giving was the kind of advice that like any person would give anybody, or that you'd see on like Oprah or Dr. Phil, or, you know, it was like generic. So again, with the clairvoyant stuff, like, don't start to analyze, just go with the craziness, and you'll only get better and better. And so you'll see a picture, and if you just like nod to it, and then, or write it down, or if you're in a session with someone else, tell them, it's just suspend all judgment, suspend all like thoughts of what's right or wrong, and go with it. One image will lead into another, into another. You'll start to see like symbolic representations of things, and it will make beautiful sense when it's all said and done. It's as though you're in a different realm, you're in a different world, you're on a different dimension. The more open you are to that, and when I say open, I mean you're opening your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye center, your crown, all of these upper centers, the more other forms of energy will be able to come through. So if you're trying to be rational and believe that an angel is not standing right there in the corner, an angel won't be standing right there in the corner. Like, you can't even envision it. But if you really open that up, you'll see that there's one there, there's one there, there's one there, there's a whole realm over here, there's a whole other world. There are many different worlds going on behind the veil. And there is truth to that. But the wackier, the better. And that's why personally with clairvoyance, I have so much fun with past life readings, because it's like, you know, telling a tale, and but then it makes sense in the end. Like, it's incredibly interesting how that all works. But if you're practicing on people and you're practicing this clairvoyance, let them know that it is not going to be this concrete, like, predicting that this is going to happen and that's going to happen and this is this and that is that and that's why and 1 + 5 = 6 and yada yada yada. It's not going to be like that. You want people who see things vividly, who are imaginative, who are creative, who don't give a rat's ass about maintaining their decorum or having everything be perfect and having it be like just so, because it's not just so with the clairvoyant stuff. So call in those kind of people, the wild, wacky, like, I don't care, let's see what comes through people, and work with those people. And then the stronger the imagery becomes, the better it'll get. And then maybe you can branch out to the others who are more like, maybe more like really needing something to be like concrete, or really needing something to be like said in a way that they can really understand. But the more magical, mythological stuff is way more fun. And so I would say, just again, if you're learning, work on all of that. And please don't censor yourself. I found that the more I would open up and not censor, the more really amazing stuff would happen. Don't criticize yourself. If you see, a frog flying on the back of a swan, that's what you see, you know? And that's rad. Write these things down. There is magic in them. And there's a reason why we're all drawn to these tales, these extraordinary myths and legends and things that transcend our reality. So that's that. If you want, if there are more like things along this vein you want me to talk about or look into, please send me an email, ask@krishanti.com. Krishanti.com is my website. That's where all the stuff lives. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I like this because I really like this top and it made me happy to wear it. So maybe I'll wear it in another video too. I hope the lighting's not that bad. I'm having kind of issues with light. I'm not really good at the technical stuff. It's all I can do to sit here and like make a coherent video. So thank you for your patience and thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time. Okay, thanks. Bye.